Don't let your first date be your last. Visit People Against Distracted Driving at PADD.org.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and happy Extreme Race Night to you all. Welcome to the Dre Broadcasting Network as we bring you live coverage from Gateway Speedway. This is the Driving for Lineman 200, part of the Extreme Motorsports Camping World Truck Series. I am your commentator, Sean Zulu, and I am joined by my good friend and producer, Dave. Everly, how are you doing tonight, buddy?
I'm doing great. How are you doing tonight, Sean?
I am doing good too, thank you. Well, Dave, I'm very excited about tonight's race here at Gateway Motorsports Park. And I'll actually start off by a little bit of a recap from last week at Texas. In the top 5, we had the 04 of Ryan Gable bring it home. The 18 of Rick Donovan came out in second place. The 68 of Scott Simley in third place. The 15 of Katie Hyde came out in fourth place. And the 44 of Brian Ward came out in fifth place. And once again, we are racing here at Gateway Motorsports Park for the Driving for Lineman 200. Well, Dave, start off by telling us about a nice race, please.
Well, tonight we are under the lights here at Gateway. Looking at the venue, we are in Madison here. It is a 1.249 mile track with 4 turns here. Turning our look over here at the temperature. It looks like it has got about a track temperature right about 74, 75 degrees with a air temperature of anywhere between 73 to 75 degrees tonight.
And also not to mention, these guys do have a 65% fuel limit. That is 65%, and one backup truck. In case they get wrecked out, they can still have one more chance at staying competitive with a brand new truck. And they will have to pit at least once in order to be able to make it all the way tonight. It's 136 laps. So 136 laps to complete. That is a long way to go. And also currently in front of me are the season standings. The 04 of Ryan Gable from second place to first place is now the new points leader. The 28 of Mason Wetzel from third place to second place. The 44 of Bryant Ward from fourth place to third place. The 10 of Cole Gleason from first as of last week, but unfortunately he didn't have a good race at Texas and was bumped down into fourth place in points. And the 18 of Rick Donovan snuck into the top 5 and is the last truck there in the top 5, fifth place in points. So everyone from first to third, the 04 of Gable, 28 Wetzel, and the 44 of Ward all moved up one spot as of last week. And well, as we speak right now, we only have about 1 minute remaining here until qualifying ends. And so far, we have the 04 of Ryan Gable, our current points leader, and last week's winner from Texas on the pole with 33.305. Well, Dave, scanning the track during practice, turn 2 is not your friend.
Yeah, we saw a lot of trucks there during practice get a little loose there, coming out of turn 2, sliding up and making contact with the wall. So these drivers are going to have to be aware of that, especially turns 1 and 2, as it is a little bit of a sharper turn there than turns 3 and 4, but it should make for some great racing tonight.
Oh, absolutely, and not to mention this track is gonna play a key factor on those tires, or those tires are gonna play a key factor in order to be able to get around the track fast and consistent throughout. So these guys are gonna have to play it smart, have a good strategy in mind, and maybe try and ride to try and save tires for the long run.
Oh, most definitely here. We should see some different pit strategies here as well. As we look, it looks like our speed limit in pit road tonight is going to be 45 mile an hour. So these guys are going to have a tricky time getting down into pit road, getting their trucks slowed down to avoid any speeding penalties here. So I'm looking for some green flag pit stops. And as we like to say, Sean, these green flag pit stops will separate the men from the boys. Is definitely going to be tricky getting down into pit road.
Oh man, couldn't have said it better myself. And with that said, Dave, this track is very, very short. These guys are running 33-second lap times. So those guys who usually like to ride in the back, if they do ride for too long, they're going to be vulnerable and are most likely going to be getting lapped in no time because those leaders don't play around. And also, we do have these guys on the grid, so we are going to be going over our gridding order. We have the 04 of Ryan Gable in first place once again. The 10 of Cole Gleason starting in second place to his right. And we have the 11 of Johnny Dressler starting in third place. Second place in the bottom lane. So, by the looks of it, the top 3 drivers are all running the same paint scheme. The 28 of Mason Witzel starting in fourth place. Second place on the outside line. The 14 of Vern Bradley in fifth place. And that 20 of Matt Clifton is going to come out of the top 5 there in 6th position. The 09 of Bryce Senesac, last season's champion, starting in 7th place. The 50 of Scott Mitten in 8th place. The 9 of Aiden Young starting in 9th place. The 18 of Rick Donathan in 10th. The 6 of Tom Wetmore starting in 11th place. The 7 of Tyler Holman in 12th. The 4 of Brent Kuhl in 13th. The 73 of Mark Brown in 14th place. The 22 of Jason Van Click in 15th. 48 of Curtis Vollmer in 16th. 74 of Wesley Whitfield starting in 17th place. The 88 of John T. Wimbish in 18th place. The 35 of Matt Egan in 19th. The 53 of Matthew Skipper rounds up that top 20. The 25 of Doug Blackman starting in 21st place. The 12 of Damian Crump in 22nd. 51 of Timothy McBrayer, 23rd. The 5 of Gary Woolbot, 24th. The 03 of Don Kidder Jr., 25th. The 01 of Joe White, 26th. The 36 of Nate Lacombe in 27th. The 13 of Ryan W. Daniels in 28th. The 29 of Matthew Welsenbach being the last track to qualify in 29th. 68 of Scott Simley, no qualifying time, 30th. 99 of Ryan Keese, 31st. 44 of Brian Ward, 32nd. 39 of Chase Cabry, or Caber, I apologize if I mispronounced your last name, and 33rd. 67 John Musen Jr., 34th. And the 30 of Alan Westman, 35th. But going back up front, these guys entering turn 3, going green for the first time, this time by being led by the 04 of Ryan Gable. The pace car is up. The 04 of Ryan still holds pace speed. He puts the hammer down. The 11 of Johnny Dressler and the 10 of Cole Gleason do not see it coming, trying their best to catch up to him. That did catch everybody off guard, but that was a great jump on his part. That 28 of Mason Witzel falling in line right behind the 11 of Dressler. He tries to start right in the 10 of Gleason and the 04 of Gable. Go way wide, almost spin out into turns 1 and 2. The caution is out. Looks like we had some trouble in the back of the pack. Let's see who might have been involved in that. Oh, by the looks of it, that involved the 03 of Don Kidder Jr., the 51 of Timothy McBrayer. And also caught in the crossfire of that, we did have the 13 of Ryan W. Daniels. On replay, Dave, let's focus on the 03 of Kidder, just so we can see what happened from his point of view.
Well, as we look at our Dre Broadcasting replay here, looks like he gets a pretty good start there. He's riding right behind. Looks like the 51 truck there coming into turn. Oh, looks like some contact was made between him and the 51. Sent the 51 up into the wall and collected a couple other trucks, but for the most part, everyone did a pretty good job of getting around that.
Yeah, that was definitely very unfortunate for all drivers involved. Unfortunately for the 67 of John Muschan Jr., he did blow his motor and had no choice but to... Oh, actually, he's just smoking heavily right now, going down pit road. Let's hope he makes it. He exits turn number 2 this time on the back straightaway, crawling down to pit road. By the looks of it, he just blew that motor. That engine is not running anymore. But so far, no changes up there in the top 3. Actually, yes, we do have some changes. The 11 of Johnny Dressler is now in second place from third place. The 28 of Mason Witzel is now in third place from fourth place. And the 10 of Cole Gleason bumped down 2 spots since that start that we just had.
Yeah, it's highly unfortunate to get an early caution out. I don't think we're going to see any drivers coming down onto pit road, as they've only got 3 laps in, so these guys are going to stay out here. That was highly unfortunate, as we said, it was such an early caution here. but these guys are going to get settled down, get ready to go back green flag racing here, as they are still pacing there behind the pace car at a rate about 60-some mile an hour.
Yeah, the only drivers we had go down pit road were most likely the drivers who were involved in that incident. We had Ryan Keys down pit road, Alan Westman, Bryant Ward, John Mustern Jr. He had no choice because he blew that motor. 51 of Timothy McBrayer and Ryan Daniels as well. Well, it is already 1 to green this time by these guys right behind the pace car, getting bunched up nice and tight, double foul. That was a quick caution.
Well, that's a good thing about a short track like this, Sean. These cautions aren't too long here because it doesn't take them very long to get around the track. So these cautions are going to be real short here tonight, and they're already double foul, as you said, as the lights on the pace car are off, getting ready to go back green flag racing.
And this lineup is a little bit different from the start. We just had the Lineman of Dressler is now in the lead with the 28 of Wetzel on his rear end. The 04 of Ryan Gable controlling the outside with the help of the 10 of Cole Gleason, as these guys do enter turn number 3 this time by going green for the second time.
Yeah, as the pace car brings them here into turn number 3, these guys are itching to get back on that throttle, get this thing back green flag racing here. As you said, we have the 11 of Johnny Dressler controlling this restart. He is elected to take that outside line as the pace car is off. The 04 of jumps onto that throttle real quick of Ryan Gable as he gets out. Looks like the 28 of Mason Wetzel saw it coming as he is able to get to the inside there of the 11 of Johnny Dressler as they go too wide here into turn number 1 and 2.
The 11 of Johnny Dressler drives it deep on the outside line, exiting turn number 2, and it was able to make the pass successful in 28 of Wetzel, and is now back in second place. And that 10 of Cole Gleason riding single file behind the 28 of Mason Witt. So these guys probably trying their best to go single file to try and make a gap in between them and everybody else behind them. And we have one driver going down pit road by the looks of it. Gonna go back and take a look at who that was.
As we are still focusing up on the front, right now we have the 04 of Ryan Gable leading, the 11 of Johnny Dressler in second, the 28 of Mason Wetzel currently in third position, and we do have the caution back out.
And the driver who was down pit road is the 03 of John Kidder Jr. with some heavy damage. Let's see who might have been involved in that incident that brought the caution. Looks like the 39 of Chase Caber was in the caution, was involved. The 12 of Damian Crump, the 36 of Nate Lacombe, and also the 53 of Matt Skipper. Let's focus on the, actually that looks like it happened up front. Let's focus on the 35 of Matt Egan so we can see what happened.
As we are now focusing on the 35 of Matt Egan, it looks like he got a little loose there coming out of the turn. Had to check up, and it just looks like he slowed down, and nobody behind him was able to get slowed down enough, bringing out that caution.
Yeah, that was very unfortunate for all those drivers involved in that little incident there. We just hope they still have their backup trucks so they can stay out there and they can get back out there and stay competitive, because they still have a long way to go. It's 136 laps, and those green flag pit stops are yet to kick in. But going back up front, we do have the 04 of Ryan Gavo in the lead with the 11 of Dressler in second place, the 28 of Mason Wetzel in third place, and the 10 of Cole Gleason in fourth. Let's actually interview the 04 of Gavo, just so we can see what's on his mind. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we do have the 04 of Ryan Gaville up here with us. Get a cup there, Ryan?
Yes, I do.
How you doing tonight, buddy?
I'm doing great so far.
Well, Ryan, from last week's race, you had an amazing race, brought it home. You did come out in first place. You took over the season standings. What's on your mind so far, buddy?
Right now, we're just trying to take it easy here, stay up front. I mean, I know getting a good restart has been really helpful so far. I've been able to get really good jumps. And I think if I can keep it out front here, we can have a good run at it and stay in front of the big wrecks.
Oh, 10-4, Ryan. That is a very good strategy by the sounds of it. And Ryan, during practice, I noticed that turn 2 was not really the best friend of you guys out there. Is that right? Is turn 2 not a tricky exit?
Yeah, turn 2 is really scary. That wall really comes up on you, mostly on restarts. People that are trying to power by people here in the back and middle of the field coming flying out of turn 2 will tear it down, and people right behind them will plow into them. That'll cause some really big accidents.
Oh, copy that. That makes a lot of sense. We are going to definitely watch out for that. And also, Ryan, with that said, how's the tire wear out there during practice?
During practice, we didn't see too bad a tire wear. We didn't really expect too big of a run this race. Maybe a run to get a green flag pit stop in would be interesting, but didn't seem too bad. I think we'll pin under caution and see what happens.
Oh, 10-4, buddy. Well, Ryan, we are going to wish you the best of luck in maintaining or holding on to that season standings lead, and good luck to you, buddy, and make us proud.
Thank you.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that was the 04 of Ryan Gable, our current season standings leader and our current race leader at the moment. He did qualify on the pole with a 33.305 and is still in the race lead so far. So his best, he did say that he's just going to try and stay out of trouble and hopefully maintain that lead. And hopefully that track tempo, that track tempo is not going to affect these guys too much. And Dave, turn 2, they're going to have to watch out for it a lot.
Yeah, they're definitely going to have to play with that throttle here tonight, especially as the green flag goes on further. They're going to have to feather that to try to keep it off that wall. As Ryan Gable said, it definitely will sneak up on you in a hurry.
Oh, absolutely. And also not to forget that both cautions happened on the exit of turn number 2. So that definitely does say something about it. And also these guys are back to 1-2 green with being led by the 04 of Gable with a 28 of Wetzel, still in third place. Second place in the bottom lane. The 11 of Johnny Dressler leading the outside with the 10 of Cole Gleason behind him. It's pretty much the same restart that we had last time. These guys getting bunched up nice and tight here as they do head into turns number 3. Pace speed is 55 miles an hour. Well, Dave, take it away.
Well, the pace car now brings them into turn number 4. Pace car is off. 04 of Ryan Gable jumps hard on that throttle. Looks like the 11 of Johnny Dressler saw it coming. As the 28 of Mason Wetzel was battling with the 10 of Cole Gleason on the outside there, coming into turn number 1 and 2 as they are side by side here. Looks like the 28 is going to get to the back door of Dressler and is able to pass around the 10 of Cole Gleason.
Yeah, that 28 of Mason Wetzel looking at the inside of 11 of Johnny Dressler trying to take it away. That is a battle for second place. He was able to get around the 10 of Cole Gleason, but the more these guys battle, the more the 04 Ryan Gable smiles, because the more he will pull away. They are side by side still. That's who he gives it to. Yep, that 28 of Mason Wetzel was able to lead a slight nose over the 11 of Johnny Dressler, but Johnny Dressler backs up his braking point there, headed into turn number 1. Does try and do the crossover move. Does not seem to have enough. That 28 of Mason Wetzel trying his best to break that drop, the trail break, to keep the 11 of Dressler right behind him.
Now he's got to be careful. He has 2 teammates right behind him in the 11 of Johnny Dressler and the 10 of Cole Gleason. But as you said, he is definitely trying to break up that draft a little bit. But meanwhile, while these 3 are battling, it looks like the Ryan Gable is starting to pull out to a little bit of a lead as he is now over 2/10 a difference. But the 11 of Dressler looks to the inside of Wetzel as the caution will fly again.
Looks like the drivers involved were the 9 of Aiden Young and the 18 of Rick Donathan. Let's focus on the 18 of Rick Donathan just so we can see what happened.
Well, as we look at our Dre Broadcasting instant replay here, we are focusing on that 9. It looks like he went to check up to slow down for the truck in front of him. The 18 of Rick Donovan had nowhere to go and hit him and got spun around, but looks like everybody else was able to keep their truck straight as he got spun around and is getting it back out on the track.
And that 9 of Aiden Young does seem to have some left front damage on his hood. Most likely going to be going down pit road this time by to get that fixed. But David, a short track like this, just might not affect him as bad as it would at a different track. And going back up front, we still have the 04 of Ryan Gable in the race lead. And so far, he does have 14 laps on his tires. We have a lot of drivers going down pit road. The 04 of Ryan Gable is one of those drivers leading everybody else down pit road. And we had some drivers deciding to stay out. The 28 of Mason Witzel, the Bryce Senesac, and Scott Mitten. And that is going to give us a lead change here. That 28 of Mason Witzel takes the race lead under caution on lap 15. Yeah, the whole field did pit in with the exception of about, let's see, that's about 7 to 8 drivers deciding to stay out. And we have one driver again, the lucky dog. That's the 03 of Don Kidder Jr. And focusing on the 03 of Don Kidder Jr. there, Dave, he does have some rear end damage on that spoiler and also that hood. He is being shown 5 laps down, but he's still going strong. If we don't go on to green this time by, we are going to get a race interview in front of the drivers. Yep, looks like we are now to the green, so we are going to pull up one of the drivers up here. The 09 of Bryce Senesac, currently in 2nd place. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we do have the 09 of Bryce Senesac up here with us. Get a cup there, Bryce.
Yes, sir.
How you doing tonight, buddy?
I'm doing pretty good. Just been kind of cruising to Count Sally, but hopefully we can get going here pretty fast here soon.
Oh, absolutely, Bryce. And by the looks of it, you did start in 7th place and are currently in 2nd place, gaining 5 spots overall, deciding to stay out. And Bryce, you are last season's champion. Tell us, what should we expect from you this season, buddy?
We're hoping to just improve. We've had some bad luck the 3 races before Texas, so hopefully that can change and we can probably rack up a win or 2 before this chase starts.
Oh, copy that, Bryce. That is definitely a good strategy to have and a good thing to hope for. And also, speaking of tonight's race here, racing at Gateway, we did speak with the that was the 04 of Ryan Gable. We talked about the tire wear and all that. What's your opinion about the tire wear tonight, buddy?
Not quite sure yet. We haven't gotten enough racing done, but I don't know. One reason I stayed out was just to see how it would work, because we haven't gotten that many laps in, so just trying to see what we can gain from this.
Oh, 10-4, buddy. Well, you are now 1 to green here behind the pace car, so good luck to you, buddy, and we hope to see you in victory lane.
Yep, thank you.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that was the 09 of Bryce Senesac, currently in 2nd place, last season's champion. And this restart, we do have the 28 of Mason Witzel in the lead, as these guys in the top 6 decided to stay out. They do enter turn number 3, bunching them up nice and tight, going green this time by. The pace car is off. That 28 of Witzel puts it down, cuts everybody off guard. That 09 of Bryce Senesac trying his best to defend that. Position 50 of Scott Mitten trying to outshift him. But so far, that 09 of Senesac succeeds and clears him before turn 1. That 4 of Brent Cohen, new to the top 5 here, drifts way high into turn 1 with the 88 of John Wimbish right behind him, opening a gap on the inside for the 48 of Curtis Bowman to look to his inside. He's able to propel past him and is going to be side by side of 50 of Scott Mitten. This is a battle for 3rd place. They still stay side by side here, battling for third place. That 50 of Scott Mitchell not giving up. Neither is the 4 of Brent Cool, but he does propel exiting turn 4 as the 50 of Scott Mitchell bats it down, exiting turn number 4 to avoid drifting up. Opens a gap for the 44 of Bryant Ward to occupy his inside line. That 44 of Bryant Ward applying a lot of pressure with the 39 of Chase right behind him, trying to apply pressure as well. Side by side, they will go both the 4 and the 50 of Mitten and the 39 of Chase and the 44 of Bryant. .39 of Chase looking at the inside or the left side of the 50 of Scott, trying to take it 3 wide, but so far it was clear of the 50. It'll stay 2 wide. Well, Dave, that 39 of Chase and the 44 of Bryant trying their best to make a hole for themselves to get around these 2 other drivers, but nowhere to go so far.
Yeah, the track isn't really too wide here, but we have seen some 2 wide and some even thinking about 3 wide here as we are focusing on the 44 of Bryant Ward. Also right in front of him, it looks like the 6 of Tom Wetmore is going to stick his nose into this battle as well.
Yeah, that 6 of Tom Wetmore nowhere to go behind the 50 of Scott Mitten. Side by side, the 04 of Ryan Gable. These 2 drivers battling side by side. Turn 1, he goes sideways, gets loose, hangs on to it, loses a lot of speed because of it, but still maintains the position. Nope, he has a 6 of Tom Wetmore challenging him. That was a save of a lifetime right there. He was able to hang on to it. Poor tires.
Looks like the 04 of Ryan Gable was challenging the 6 of Tom Wetmore. Is going to propel off the turn and is going to get side by side with the 50 of Scott Mitten as he is looking to make up the positions he lost when he got a little loose there in the turn, as they are still side by side here battling it out.
And that 04 of Ryan Gable giving it all he's got so far, keeps getting loose on entry to turn number 2, but is still able to hang on to it, but now has a 6 of Tom Wetmore trying to push him on the straightaway past the 50 of Scott Mitten, who he was able to clear successfully. Actually, both drivers do clear the 50 of Scott Mitten and gain about 2 spots in total. And Dave, because they were battling, they did lose a lot of time to those race leaders. They're now being shown about 3 to 4 seconds behind them.
Yeah, they definitely lost some time there, so they've got some time to make up. Luckily, we still have 114 laps here remaining, so they've got some time to try to track those leaders down. We did see the 04 of Ryan Gable running some really quick lap times there when he was leading out front. So the question is I think he'll be able to get up to him, but it looks like the 28 of Mason Wetzel has checked out, as he is now almost 5/10 ahead of the 09 of Brian Senesac.
And we do have a battle for, looks like that is 9th place between the 48 of Curtis Vollmer and the 44 of Brian Ward. Side by side they go here, exiting turn 2. The 48 almost drifts up into the 44 of Bryant, but did back it down to avoid causing trouble. That was avoided successfully. It has the 14 of Vern Bradley being pushed by the 68 of Scott Simley. But that 14 of Bradley does move his bumper on the inside of the 48 and makes pass successfully here, exiting turn 4. And is now going to be shown in 8th place.
Well, Sean, we got to give out some big driver credit here. The 39 of Chase Cabaret, who qualified 33rd, is now running in 3rd position as the caution flag is now out.
Now, gonna go back and take a look at who might have been involved. Looks like we have some heavy smoke from the rear end of the 9 of Aiden Young. Yes, he was involved on replay. Let's try and focus on him just so we can see what happened.
As we look at it, I don't see any contact. It just looks like that motor might have blew on him there, Sean.
Yeah, that is definitely exactly what I'm seeing as well. That is very unfortunate for him. It doesn't seem as though he downshifted, so yeah, that definitely did. Just most likely overheat and blew up. Well, the good thing is nobody else was involved. It didn't affect anybody else, but unfortunately it did affect him.
Well, Sean, it looks like our current race leader, the 28 of Mason Wetzel, is going to bring most of the drivers down, but it looks like the 6 of Tom Wetmore is going to stay out to lead a lap.
And Dave, the last caution, the top 6 drivers did decide to stay out, including the 28 of Mason Witt. So they had 16 laps on their tires, and by the looks of it, it didn't seem to affect them at all. So maybe tires won't play a key factor at all tonight.
Yeah, as I'm looking right now, it looks like Wetmore and the 14 of Vern Bradley in those Chevy Silverados are only running about 13 laps on their tires, so they're not too far off. But as we've seen some, like the 4 Brent Cole having almost 30 laps on their tires, as we are now under our 4th caution of the night.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, on that note, we will take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back, so stay tuned. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Driving for Lineman 200, part of the Extreme Motorsports Camping World Truck Series. And going back to the race here, we are still under caution, and only the top 3 drivers have not pitted in. The 6 of Tom Wetmore, the 14 of Vern Bradley, and the 18 of Rick Jonathan. Also looking further back in the pack at the 13 of Ryan Daniels. He as well does have 24 laps on his tires, which is actually 10 laps more compared to those top 3 drivers who stayed out. But everybody else besides these drivers has less than 3 laps on their tires, so have 3 laps before they pitted in, or they pitted in 3 laps ago, basically.
Well, Sean, the lights on the pace car are now off, so we are getting ready to go back to green flag racing here tonight, as we are now under our 4th caution of the night. We still have 108 laps remaining, so we are due for some great green flag racing here. As you said, we are being led by the 6 of Tom Wetmore, who qualified 11th, is now running in P1. We have the 14 of Vern Bradley running in P2. The 18 of Rick Donathan that we saw in an earlier yellow flag is now currently running in P3. And right behind them, in 4th place, will be the 28 of Mason Wetzel. Pace car now brings them here into turn number 3 as these guys start bunching it up and getting ready to go back green flag racing.
These guys are going to be on their toes in 2nd gear, trying to keep up with the 6 of Tom Wetmore, who is controlling this race. The pace car is off. He still holds pace, but he jumps at start, catches them off guard. The 18 of Rick Dunn trying his best to catch up to him, but that 14 of Bradley propels the 28 of Wetzel on his rear end. They do clear both the 18 of Rick Jonathan, who is being overtaken left and right by everybody. And right now, the 09 of Bryce Senesac trying his best to catch up the 18 of Rick Jonathan to overtake him with the 50 of Scott Mitchell side by side. They make contact, go sideways, exiting turn 2 in the grass. The 09 of Bryce Senesac hard into the wall.
Well, looks like it is not going to bring out the yellow flag as we see him get that Silverado spun back around, back out on the track. We are staying green flag racing here, led by the 6 of Tom Wetmore.
That was very unfortunate for the 09 of Bryce Senesac, but he's still in it to win it. And right now, going back to 2nd place, we have a battle between the 28 of Wetzel and the 39 of Cabri. And oh, the caution is out. Let's see who might have been involved in that. Oh, that did involve quite a few trucks. The 14 of Vern Bradley was involved. So was the 11 of Johnny Dressler and the 04 of Ryan Gable by the looks of it. Let's focus on the 14 of Vern Bradley on replay.
Well, as we go to our blimp view here, focusing on the 14 of Vern Bradley, looks like he slowed down. It looks like the 11 of Johnny Dressler just could not get slowed down, made contact in that back bumper and spun him around. Trucks were going in the grass trying to avoid him as he is trying to get that truck spun back around for our 5th caution of the night.
Well, I know one driver who's happy to see that caution. That's the 09 of Bryce Senesac, because when he did spin out exiting, turned out of being hit from behind, he was actually able to stay on the lead lap with this caution, because that caution did not come out when he spun out. And going back up front, being led by the 6 of Tom Wetmore, who is most likely going down pit road, and yes, he is headed down pit road. Will he be followed? Looks like he has the 50 of Scott Mitten right behind him.
Well, that is going to hand that race lead over to the 39 of Chase Cambry.
And actually, let's interview the 39 of Chase, just so we can talk to him about being the hardest charger so far, starting in 33rd and being in the lead as we speak.
Another kid, it's like little kids.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we do have the 39 of Chase up here. That's gonna come there, Chase.
How's it going?
Doing good. How are you, buddy?
I'm pretty good.
Well, Chase, you are the hardest charger this far, starting in 33rd place and being in the lead already. What the heck is going on?
I just some pitch strategy and making things happen. I was a standby driver. It's my first run with these guys, so just some pitch strategy kind of got me up here. We're going to see if we're able to run with these guys.
Oh, 10-4. That is very, very good to hear. And by the looks of it, you did decide to stay out with only 7 laps on your tires, which is most. By the looks of it, it's just exactly what the whole field is on, the exact same pit strategy. And Chase, what strategy do you have in mind so far, or maybe you don't want to discuss that?
Strategy right now, it's up in the air. We're getting a lot of caution, so just kind of play it by ear as it goes along. If we kind of get strung out here, I don't see us making a full fuel run, just because of the fact that the tire wear gets really, really bad here. Tire wear falls off extremely throughout the run, so we'll just kind of play by the ear as it goes along and hope for some green flag runs here. Can't wait to see how it's going to shake out for us.
Oh, copy that, Chase. And Chase, this far, all the cautions have actually happened in turn number 1 and 2. Tell us about turn number 1 and 2 from your perspective, buddy.
It's a pretty tight turn. Everybody gets down in there with different braking patterns, and that's what causes a lot of it. And once you get to the center of it, a lot of people are downshifting into third, and some aren't. Coming off the corner, it gets really tight. And that's what's causing a lot of the issues, where people are downshifting, and the difference in braking patterns is what's really cramming us all up here. I feel like if we can get all strung out and get at least a good maybe 50 lap run in here, everything will get kind of strung out and get pretty equal, and we'll get to actually racing instead of pacing.
Oh, absolutely, Chase. And we do have a lot of battles going on throughout the entire track. Just like you had pointed out, difference in braking point is definitely a very key factor in tonight's race, especially since these things do not have any brake lights whatsoever. But Chase, we are going to let you get back to the driver's seat. You are in first place on 1 to green. So good luck to you, buddy, and keep doing exactly what you're doing.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Can't wait to talk to you guys again.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that was our current race leader, coming from 33rd place into first place on only lap number 35, gaining 32 spots overall, with pretty much the exact same pit strategy as every driver on there in the race so far. And the driver with the most laps on his tires is the 18 of Rick Jonathan. We have Vern Bradley. So these guys are gonna have quite the time of their lives, because that 39 of Chase did talk about how the tires are going away a lot and how it's going to affect these guys' driving abilities. And entering turn 3 this time by these guys are behind the pace car, bunching up nice and tight, being led by the 39 of Chase Caber. Take it away, Dave.
Well, as the pace car now brings them out of turn number 4 here, they are still behind. The pace car dips down into pit road. Looks like the 39 of Chase is going to get hard on that throttle. The 48 of Curtis Vollmer saw it coming, as he is going to get door to door with the 04 of Ryan Gavel and try to get to the underneath there of the 28, but just not able to do it as he falls right in line.
Big checkup exiting turn 2, big wreck behind them. Caution is out. Let's see what's involved in that. Looks like we had the 68 of Scott Simley sideways into turn 2. That did involve some other drivers by the looks of it. Looks like it made contact with the 18 of Rick Jonathan and also the driving the bottom, the 88 of John T. Wimbish. Let's focus on the 68 of Scott just so we can see what happened.
Well, it looks like the 88 got down underneath the 18 of Rick Donovan, made some contact, which slid him up right up into the 68. But it doesn't look like too much damage, but it was enough to bring out the caution.
Oh man, and because of that big checkup that happened during due to that wreck, we had some more drivers, some other drivers involved in the back. One of the drivers was the 6 of Tom Wetmore, spun sideways. The 01 of Joe White actually was able to avoid that, but we had the 99 of Ryan Keys getting a piece of him. Going back up front, still being led by the 39 of Chase Caber, the 28 of Mason Wetzel being shown in second place, the 48 of Curtis Vollmer in third, the 04 of Ryan Gable in fourth, and the 77 of Tyler Holman in fifth. Well, Dave, we are seeing a lot of new drivers in the top 5, like the 48 of Curtis, who did start in 16th place, and also 77 of Tyler Holman, who did start in 12th place. And this does give us some more time to interview some other drivers. We're going to focus on the 48 of Curtis. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we do have the 48 of Curtis Vollmer up here with us. Get a cup there, Curtis. Oh, looks like you're in the wrong room.
Can you hear me?
There we go, loud and clear. How are you doing tonight, buddy?
Good, how you doing?
I am doing good too, thank you. Well, maybe not as good as you are, because you did go all the way from 16th place up to 3rd place as we speak, and so far you are being shown with 12 laps on your tires, just like everybody else in the top 20 is. Well, tell us about your race so far, Curtis.
You know, it's going real good. I don't even want to be up here right now. I'd rather be in the back, but things are working out, so I'll just kind of hang out here for a little bit.
Oh, copy that. And Curtis, we've noticed that, from experience, I've noticed personally that the tracks are usually different from practice versus race time. Have you noticed any differences, or is it pretty much the same? Are you able to handle it?
You know, we can't get a green flag running, so I can't even figure it out, but it's looking pretty good. Hopefully we got some people that are racking out, working in my favor.
Oh, copy that, Curtis. That is definitely understandable. And Curtis, when it comes down to green flag pit stops, if you guys have green flag pit stops, do you think taking 2 tires is okay, or maybe 4 tires is the way to go?
Oh, 2 would be terrible. It's got to be 4 here. It's got to be 4.
Oh, 10-4, buddy. Well, Chris, we are going to let you get back to driver's seat, buddy. Make us proud, and good luck to you.
10-4, thank you.
That was the 48 of Curtis Vollmer. Looking at the stats right now, we had some drivers go down pit road. The 18 of Rick Jonathan, who did have the most laps on his tires, decided to pit in and took 4 tires. And also Vern Bradley down pit road. Scott Mitten did pit in. 22 of Jason Van Click, Tom Wetmore, Brent Kuhl, Nate Lacombe, Damian Crump, Aiden Young, and also Don Kidder Jr. as well. Well, Dave, these guys are back to 1 to green, going green this time by on lap number 40. And this lineup's a little bit different. That 39 of Chase in the lead, still in the lead. The 48 of Curtis Vollmer on his rear end. 28 of Mason, which is leading the outside with the help of the 04 of Ryan Gable. In 5th place is 77 of Tyler Holman once again.
Well, it looks like the pace car is now going to bring them here into turn number 3. These guys are bunched up as we are now 97 laps to go here left at the Drivin for Lineman 200, brought to you by Extreme Motorsports 99.com. If you're definitely looking for a good fun league, check them out at their website, Extreme Motorsports 99.com. Pace car dips in. Looks like Chase is going to get up. The caution has been extended. The pace car is back out.
Yeah, it looks like we might have had some trouble on the track. That race control had to throw that caution, or maybe it was a debris caution. Could have been either way. And now we are back to 1 to green in the same lineup. These guys getting bunched up nice and tight once again. And so far we only have 30 drivers on the lead lap of a 35 track field. And the first truck a lap down is the 9 of Aiden Young, but he's back there in 31st place, just staying out of trouble. And also the 13 of Ryan Daniels, 51 of Timothy McBrayer, and the 03 of Don Kidder. Unfortunately, we had the 67 of John Mushan Jr. retire early tonight.
Well, as they come down the backstretch, you see some of the drivers trying to scrub their tires, getting ready for another restart here. We are now coming on 95 laps to go, still being led by the 39 and Chase Cabaret with Mason Wetzel on the outside. Pace car is off. Chase Cabaret jumps hard onto that throttle in second gear, pulls out. Looks like Mason Wetzel saw it coming. The 04 of Ryan Gable is able to get up behind of Wetzel and just run single file here, while the 48 of Curtis Balmer is just kind of picking up in the single file here.
That 10 of Cole Gleason gets a start of a lifetime, overtakes that 48 of Curtis Vollmer, who was caught sleeping or caught off guard since the 39 of Chase did jump that start to get the best restart. And he does have that 04 of Ryan Gable in front of him. At 28 of Mason Weston gives the bumper to the 39 of Chase Cabrick, trying to apply pressure. Looking further back in the pack, we do have some battles going on between the 20 of Matt Clifton trying to overtake the 73 of Mark Brown. These drivers haven't spoken much of tonight. They're new to the top 10.
Well, as we see Matt Clifton there is to the inside, just not able to get a good run. He is going to fall right behind the 73 there of Mark Brown. But here comes the 18 of Rick Donovan looking to the inside there of Clifton. Is going to be able to get the pass in the turn. And he's got his sights set back on the 73 of Mark Brown.
Oh man, that 18 of Rick Donovan actually has the newest tires on the field so far. He does have only 6 laps on his tires, which is actually 12 laps less than everybody else out there. So right now, just picking them off like flies. His next victim is 73 of Mark Brown, trying to take him down this time by. That's a battle for 9th place. And in front of him is the 77 of Tyler Holman. And that 18 of Rick Jonathan makes the pass successfully. The 73 of Mark Brown here exiting turn 1 is now applying the bumper to the 25 of Doug Blackman.
Looks like he is going to get to the inside of him here coming into turn number 1 as he is going to complete the pass. But here comes the 25 back. He is not going to let him give it away, but the 18 of Donathan is just too strong for him and is pulled out to a little bit of a gap. It looks like that 18 of Rick Donathan wants to be up front, and he is just hammering down to get there.
Oh, by the looks of it, Dave, he does have the speed that it takes to get around this track, and he does have the less laps on those tires, so he pretty much has new tires or newer tires compared to everybody else, and so far everything is working in his favor. That 20 of Clifton looking to the inside of the 25 of Zach Blackman. That is a battle for 9th place. The 20 of Matt Clifton didn't get enough braking into turn 1 and drifted up a little bit, but was able to keep off the 25 of Blackman and make the pass successful, exiting turn 2 on the 25. The caution is out. Gonna see what was involved in that. Oh, we had the 01 of Joe White in the grass exiting turn 2. By the looks of it, it just might have been a self-spin. Let's focus on the 01 of Joe White on replay.
Well, as we are focusing on the 01 of Joe White, looks like coming down the front stretch here into turn number 1. He slows down into the turn, and coming out of the turn, he starts sliding up. Looks like he just breaks loose there coming out of turn 2, gets it spun around. Luckily, no other truck makes contact with him, and he keeps it off the wall.
Yeah, that was definitely some great awareness among all these drivers. They're able to avoid that wreck. And also the 01 of Joe White, that was a great save on his part, not hitting anything after that self-spin he just had. And going back up front, we still have a 39 of chasing the lead, going down pit road, this time by the 44 of Bryant deciding to stay out. Actually, it looks like Bryant might be a lap down. Yes, he is. 29th place, 1 lap down. Most likely going to be getting a lucky dog this time by. Yes, he will downshifts that sucker down into 2nd place, gets around that pace car, back on the lead lap on lap number 48. And the 28 of Mason Whitson decides to stay out and has 22 laps on his tires and is now the new race leader with the 6 of Tom Wetmore in 2nd place right behind him. And so far, Dave, I do see a lot of trucks out there with a little bit of some scratches and some damage on them. So Drivin is racing.
Well, this is a short track, so I mean they don't have much room. You're gonna, especially with a 35 truck field, you're gonna have that here as we are now on our 7th caution here with 89 laps to go.
And if the lights on the pace car do not shut off, we are going to be interviewing one of the drivers, the 6 of Tom Wetmore, going from 11th place and is now in 2nd place. So far, the drivers who have been pitted in do include the 28 of Wetso, Tom Wetmore, Johnny Dressler pitted in 11 laps ago, 53 of Matt Skipper just went down pit road, the 5 of Gary Woolbot, and the 51 of Timothy McBrayer, but everybody else has gone down pit road already.
Well, Sean, we are seeing some different pitch strategies, even though we quite haven't got a long green flag run, but they are definitely choosing and picking how long to stay out here. Currently, we have the 28 of Mason Wetzel in 1st place. He has led 14 laps tonight after starting in 4th position.
And also, Dave, a status check on the 09 of Bryce Senesac, who did have a spin exiting turn 2 after being given a lap tap on exit. He's now back in 21st place behind the 5 of Gary Woolbot, but he does seem to have some right front damage and also rear end spoiler damage.
Well, Sean, I don't think we're going to see any trucks escape here at Gateway without any scrapes, nicks, or scratches. So it's expected to come here, especially with such a narrow and real demanding truck.
Oh, absolutely. We saw a lot of wrapping and racing throughout the track, including a race between the 28 of Wetzel and also the previous race leader, the 04 of Ryan Gable. And we just might be going 1 to green this time by. Yes, we will. We are 1 to green. This lineup is a little bit different. The 28 of Mason Wetzel in the lead with the 6 of Tom Wetmore side by side with him on the restart. The 04 of Ryan Gable in 4th place, starting 2nd on the outside line with the 11 of Johnny Dressler on his inside, starting 2nd on the inside behind the 28 of Mason Wetzel. Well, Dave, from all the restarts we've seen being led by the 28 of Mason Wetzel, we've noticed that he has been jumping those restarts, and I'm pretty sure these guys have caught on to it, so they'll be on their toes.
Well, Sean, they still got to be careful because they don't want to jump it ahead of him. He is controlling the restart. You never know. He may do that the first few times, but he may hold off and get you a black flag there for passing the leader before the start-finish line. So these guys got to be careful as he is now bringing them into turn number 3 as they are following behind that Ford Mustang iRacing pace car. As the lights are off, these guys are getting ready to go back green flag racing.
And pace car is off. He puts the hammer to the floor, catches them off guard. The 6 of Tom Whitmore sees it coming. The little Johnny Dressler, not quite. He does have a bumper from the 10 of Cole Gleason right behind him. But that 04 of Ryan Gable propelling on the outside line, trying to catch up to the 6 of Tom Wetmore, who is challenging the 28 of Mason Wetzel for the race lead. Side by side they go. 6 of Wetmore occupies the outside. Huge slingshot on the outside line. The 04 of Gable behind the 28 of Wetzel. That is a battle for second place. Well, that 28 of Wetzel just... The 04 of Gable gets in 28 of Mason Wetzel, who did close the door on him. Entering turn 3, goes sideways on the outside, but was able to hang on to it.
That was some good driving there as we saw the 28 of Mason Wetzel do a little dirt tracking on the pavement here tonight at Gateway as he got sideways and was able to overpower that truck, get it straightened out, and get up and let everybody around. As there's heavy contact in front of him, the caution is out.
Oh, that did involve the 48 of Curtis Vollmer. Actually, it did involve a lot of trucks. We have more than one incident. The 04 of Ryan Gable was involved. The 18 of Rick Jonathan had an incident. The 48 of Curtis Vollmer. The 10 of Cole Gleason. And the 25 of Doug Blackman. Whoa, also the 73 of Mark Brown.
We are going to follow here the 10. It looks like the 18 of Donovan made a little bit of contact coming in. It looked like the 10 just kind of slowed down and just caused a domino effect behind him. Highly unfortunate, but as you said, there was a lot of trucks involved in that.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to take one quick commercial break real quick, and we'll be right back. So stay tuned. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Driving for Lineman 200, part of the Extreme Motorsports Camping World Truck Series. Well, going back to the race, we still have the 6 of Tom Wetmore in the lead after starting in 11th place. The 11 of Johnny Dressler in 2nd place. The 39 of Chase Cabry in 3rd. The 20 of Matt Clifton making his way all the way up to 4th place after keeping a low profile throughout the entire race this far. And the 18 of Rick Jonathan in 5th place, but nope, that just changed. He is down pit road this time by getting some damage fixed.
Oh, most definitely. As I said earlier, Sean, we're not going to see any trucks make it out of here without some scrapes, nicks, and scratches, some bumps and bruises. We're going to have some hurt egos by the end of the night, but it is definitely making for an interesting race as we are seeing battles all over the place here.
Oh, absolutely, and we did see the 6 of Tom Wetmore make a pass for the lead on the outside line of the 28 of Mason Wetzel. I would have thought the inside line was the place to be, but it definitely did prove me wrong.
Well, as more rubber is being put down on the track, you're going to see people taking different lines here as we see people making passes on the inside, passes on the outside. So they are getting this track heated up, and it is just rocking and rolling right now as we are now 82 laps to go. So we are on lap 54 of 136.
And Dave, right now I am looking at my stats, and the top two drivers, the 6 of Tom Wetmore and the 11 of Johnny Dressler, did decide to stay out with actually almost every driver behind them. But they do have 9 to 10 laps more on their tires compared to the rest of the field. That's going to be very interesting to see what happens to them.
Yeah, they're probably banking on a quick caution here as the lights on the pace car do go off. So they start lining up here, double file here. So they are probably banking maybe on another caution here. And then probably coming down, they're just trying to stay out, keep their track position as much as possible.
And we are back to 1 to green this time by this restart. We have the 6 of Wetmore with the 39 of Chase right behind him. Chase being a man on the mission ever since the fly of the green flag. 11 of Johnny Dressler leading the outside of the 20 of Clifton on his rear. And these guys do hold pace speed 55 miles an hour entering turn 3 behind the pace car going green this time by. As they do enter turn 3 this time by getting bunched up nice and tight. Those two leaders once again did not take any tires and have 18 laps on their tires. 9 to 10 laps more than everybody else. The pace car is off. 6 of Wetmore holds pace speed. He jumps to start the 39 of Chase, sees it coming, tries to get around the 11 of Johnny Dressler, who does miss a shift on the outside line. The 20 of Clifton trying his best to get around him, but has not just to back up. He looks to his inside to try and occupy his inside of the 11 of Johnny Dressler, but the door closes quickly. And that 36 of Nate Lacombe behind the 20 of Clifton, who gets loose and he's going to take the opportunity to be side by side with him. That 36 of Nate Lacombe is going to be battling the 20 of Clifton for 4th place. That 36 of Lacombe makes the pass successfully on the 20 of Clifton, but Clifton does have the 99 of Ryan Keese behind him. And Ryan Keese coming all the way from 31st place to 6th position this time by, so he has moved up a lot of positions. Looking further back in the pack, some more battling between the 04 of Gable and the 50 of Scott Mitton. The 04 of Gable was able to get on the 50 of Scott Mitton, and so far the 44 of Bryant Ward looking at the inside of the 50 of Mitton. So maybe Mitton is just trying to back it down, or maybe he does have damage just slowing him down, because that spoiler is not pretty.
Yeah, he's got a little bit of damage there on the front left side there of the hood of his truck, but it doesn't look to be affecting him too much. It just looks like he's just kind of taking it easy, letting the chips fall, see where it lays. He's not really pushing too hard here. It doesn't really look like any driver really is pushing, making a major push, as we are almost here to the halfway point. So these drivers know they still got a long way to go here, as we are now 78 laps to go.
And speaking of a push, the 28 of Wetzel putting that hammer to the floor, but took the 50 of Mitton, his next victim. The 44 of Bryant Ward, who is side by side of the 99 of Ryan Keese. That is a battle for 7th place between these two drivers, but that 99 of Keese was able to hang on to it and maintain the 8th place position. That 44 of Bryant Ward not giving up, and neither the 99 of Ryan Keese, who propels exiting turn 2, keeps the 44 of Bryant Ward in 9th place, with the 28 of which looks the inside of the 44 of Bryant Ward. 44 Bryant Ward drifts way high, leaving room for the 28 of Wetzel to clear him exiting turn 4. He's going to try and do the over and under, but he's not close enough. We have one more driver retiring for the night. That was the 68 of Scott Simley. Well, that 99 of Ryan Keese has upped his game, was side by side of the 01 or the 10 actually of Cole Gleason, but Cole Gleason was able to propel past him exiting turn number 2 and open the door for the 28 of Wetzel. Look at his inside line and made the pass successfully, entering turn 3.
Well, Sean, going back up front, we do have a new race leader. Looks like the 39 of Chase Cabry is going to get around the 6 of Tom Wetmore and take over the lead here, as he has now led 17 laps here at Gateway. But the 6 of Tom Wetmore is just not letting him go. He is keeping him within striking distance, but they got to be careful, because here comes the 11 of Johnny Dressler, the 36 of Nate Lacombe, and the 20 of Matt Clifton. So as we are counting down these laps, these guys got to watch, because there is some win-hungry guys behind them.
Oh man, the 04 of Ryan Gable as well, giving the bumper to the 20 of Clifton, who won't let go. They stay side by side, exiting turn for the 20 of Clifton, occupying the outside of the 04 of Gable, and is inside, and that is a battle for 5th place. But that 20 of Clifton was able to lead or maintain that 5th place position. They stay side by side here into turns number 1 and 2 with the 36 of Nate Lacombe in front of them.
Oh, the 20 of Clifton gets a little loose on the turn. That is going to scrub his speed. That's going to let the 04 of Ryan Gavel and the 10 of Cole Glasson get around them, as they are now both of them got their sights set on the 36 of Nate Lacombe.
And because of the 20 of Clifton's looseness exiting turn 2 last lap, he did open the door for the 28 of Wetzel to look to his inside, but he did end up closing that door. He just closed that door right now in turn 1. In front of them, a battle looks like that is for 5th place between the 04. We have one spinning behind. That's the 10 of Cole Glasson, went sideways, was able to hang on to one driver smoking heavily, headed down pit road this time by, looks like, let's see who that is. That is the 14 of Vern Bradley. That is some heavy smoke.
Well, good job by all the drivers, as that is going to keep us green flag racing here, as we are now lap 73, or 72 laps to go, lap 64 of 136. So these drivers are doing a good job, even when they lose it, not taking out another driver, as we are still focusing on the 04 of Ryan Gavel, as he is working all over the back door there of the 36 of Nate Lacombe.
And also Dave going just a little bit further back in the pack, or a lot further back in the pack, the 88 of John T. Wimbish, upping his game so far, trying to get around the 77 of Tyler Holman, but these guys do have different race lines or different entries actually into turns number 3 and 4, which does separate them a lot. And that 88 of John has the 25 of Jack Blackman behind him, letting him know that if you make a mistake, I'm going to take it away. We have one driver exiting pit road. That's the 14 of Vern Bradley, using that backup truck after having some heavy smoke and near blowing his motor. He's back out on the track, but he is unfortunately a lap down. They have a battle for 16th. Actually, that's a battle for 15th between the 25 of Jack Blackman and the 88 of John, and the caution is out. Gonna see who was involved in that. Looks like the 03 of Don Kidder Jr. might have been involved. I believe that was pretty much it. Let's focus on the 03 of Don Kidder, just so we can see what happened from him.
Well, as we focus on the 03 of Don Kidder here, watching him from our chopper cam, looks like coming down the stretch here, front stretch, is coming into, looks like, Sean, it's going to be a turn of 1 and 2 killer again, as he slows down into turns 1 and 2, drops down to the midline there. Coming out, he starts drifting up, and I'm not seeing exactly where he was involved in that, because it doesn't look like it was in turn 3 and 4 here. That looks like coming into the entry of turn number 3, got a little too hard on the brakes, got that back end slid around, but was able to get it down into the grass. Everybody was able to get around him, so it does look like it was a self-spin.
Yeah, that was definitely some great driving on everybody's part. And also the 03 of Don Kidder Jr., he was able to go sideways and actually get out of it unharmed with just a little bit of grass on that truck. Right now he's being shown in 32nd place, 4 laps down, trying his best to get as many laps back as possible before this thing is over. And we have a lot of drivers going down pit road this time by, with the 28 of Mason Wetzel staying out.
I tell you, 2 people that are really happy, or maybe even 3 people that are really happy to see that caution. That was going to be the 6 of Tom Wetmore, the 11 of Johnny Dressler, and the 36 of Nate Lacombe, who all had 21 plus laps on their tires. So they are extremely happy to see that caution as we see him go down pit road and now start working their way off of pit road back out onto the racetrack.
And also right now, only the top 2 drivers, 74 of Wesley Whitfield. Actually, 74 of Wesley Whitfield, we haven't spoken any of him tonight. He did start in 17th place and is now here in 2nd place behind the 28 of Mason. And right now he does seem to be pointed down to the apron, going down pit road this time by. Is he going to be followed? Let's see. Yes, he will be. Looks like that's the 03 of Don Kidder Jr. And that 14 of Vern Bradley, the driver who was smoking heavily, and the caution didn't come out for that. He went down pit road, got a new truck, and is back out in 27th place, a lap down, but won't begin. The Lucky Dog, unfortunately, headed down pit road this time by. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to interview a new driver to the top 5, the 53 of Matthew Skipper, starting in 20th place and is all the way up to 2nd place as we speak. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we do have the 53 of Matthew Skipper up here. Let's get a cup there, Mr. Skipper.
Yes, sir.
How you doing tonight, buddy?
I'm doing pretty good. How about you guys?
Doing good too, thank you. Well, buddy, you did start all the way back in 20th place, but finally making your way up into the top 5, straight into 2nd place. But you did decide to stay out. You have 17 laps on your tires, just as the 28 of Mason Witzer, the race leader. Tell us about how everything's going so far, buddy.
Well, starting from the back, I didn't want to be a part of the big jumble with those multiple cautions, so I just chose, hey, let's just stay in the back and relax. And I feel like I have some more juice in these tires, and feel like we can do something.
Oh, copy that, Matthew. That is very, very good to hear on your part, because everyone we've interviewed, they did complain a little bit about that tire wear playing a very, very key factor negatively. And Matthew, is tire conservation a thing at this track, or is just nearly impossible?
Well, I've only raced here a couple of times, but from my past experiences, I've never had a problem with tire conservation. I mean, I know a couple of people have, but for me, I feel comfortable with these.
Oh, copy that, Matthew. Well, on that note, buddy, we are going to let you get back to driver's seat. You are 1 to green behind the pace car. So good luck to you, buddy, and make us proud.
All right, thank you very much.
Well, Sean, the pace car is now bringing them into turns number 3 and 4. We have the 28 of Mason Wetzel leading with the 53 of Matthew Skipper on the outside, the 04 of Ryan Gravel in 3rd position, and in 4th position, the 39 of Chase Cambery and the 6 of Tom Wetmore rounding out your top 5. Pace car is off, as it looks like the 28 of Mason Wetzel kept him until the green flag. He got a good jump over the 53 of Matt Skipper, but here comes the 04 of Ryan Gravel to the inside as they are going side by side here through turns 1 and 2.
The 04 of Gable able to get on the 53 of Skipper there. Keep in mind that the 53 of Skipper and the 28 of Mason Witzer do have 15 laps more on their tires compared to the whole entire field. So that is a very, very big disadvantage. Around in the 04 of Gable putting the hammer to the floor, trying to catch up the 28 of Mason Witzer for the race lead. He has the 39 of Chase with him, behind him. He's going to bump up and up. He's going to look to his inside. They're going to be side by side, and the caution comes out. Let's see what's involved in that. Oh, looks like the 88 of John T. Wimbish went rightward into the wall. And looks like it did involve the 14 of Vern Bradley as well. Let's focus on the 88 of John on replay.
Well, as we look at our All-Pro Broadcasting Network replay here, focusing on the 88 of Wimbish, looks like coming down into turn number 1 here. From that restart, he gets on them brakes. It looks like he gets to the outside there of the 14 as they are coming out of turn number 2 here. He also gets to the outside of the 51 machine, as it looks like it going to happen here coming into turn number 3 and 4. As it looks like he gets down, he slides down, makes contact with the 14 machine, also spinning around and collecting the 51 up into the wall.
And that was very, very unfortunate for all drivers involved in that, and because he did make contact with the 51 of Timothy McBrayer, funny enough, it slowed him down enough for him not to hit that wall, so that did work out in his favor. But that 14 of Vern Bradley, unfortunately, retiring for the night. And going back up front, we still have the 28 of Mason Wetzel in the race lead now with 21 laps on his tires compared to everyone who has 6 laps only this time by, which is, like I said, 15 laps less or 15 laps more than everybody else. And the 53 of Matthew Skipper falling all the way back into 5th place after having not quite as good of a restart as the 28 of Wetzel. 53 of Matthew Skipper headed down pit road, this time by with 28 of Mason Wetzel deciding to stay out once again on this caution. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to get a race interview in with the 6 of Tom Wetmore.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are experiencing a little technical difficulty right now, as it seems that we have lost contact with all the drivers. So just bear with us as we try to get this fixed as soon as possible.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Driving for Lineman 200 with the Extreme Motorsports Camping World Truck Series. We do apologize, we did have some technical difficulties, but looks like we are back and running. And going back to the race, we do have the 6 of Tom Wetmore in the lead with the 04 of Ryan Gable in second place, but he did take it away from, actually the 39 of Chase took it away from the 04 of Gable and bumped him down into third place. And the 11 of Johnny Dressler in fourth place behind the 04 of Gable. And Dave, let's run on the in-car of the 11 of Dressler just so we can watch him work. Entering turn number 1 and 2 there, he looks at the inside of the 04 of Gable. By the sounds of it, he does downshift that sucker. Exiting turn 2, he propels past the turn, but he does have the 04 of Gable, increasing the gap in between him, and actually the caution does come out. Gonna go focus on who might have been involved in that. Oh, looks like the 25 of Doug Blackman was involved in that incident. Let's focus on the 25 of Doug Blackman on replay.
Well, Sean, as we pull up our Dre Broadcasting replay here, we are going to focus on the 25. It just looks like coming out of turn 1 and 2. Not sure if he was coming off pit road, but he got a little sideways, and that brought out the caution.
Well, the good thing about that is nobody else was involved in it, and even here, he didn't hit anything. Oh! Whoa, that was a near miss. On my end, one driver almost smacked into him, but everybody got out of it unharmed. And going back up front, we have the 6 of Tom Wetmore in the lead, going down pit road, this time by being followed by the 39 of Chase, the 04 of Ryan Gable, the Cole Gleason, Bryant Ward, and Mark Brown as well. One driver staying out, the 11 of Johnny Dressler. And that does give Johnny Dressler the race lead here on lap number 83, and one driver getting the lucky dog. That's the 9 of Aiden Young. And Aiden Young tonight, Dave, has been keeping a low profile ever since he did get into an incident there earlier today in between turns number 1 and 2, and went a lap down because of it, but is now back on the lead lap.
Yeah, most definitely here as we've got 54 laps remaining. Looking at right about the lap times here, these guys are running on average right about 33 to 34 second lap times here. So these laps are going to be ticking down as we're going to see some drivers making moves here under these cautions, whether to pit, whether not to pit, trying to go for that track position as they are fighting for a win here tonight.
Oh yeah, and what's going to matter the most is that final pit stop, Dave, when they know that from now on I can make it and I have to start saving tires. But it just might be difficult to save tires because this track exiting, turn 1 and 2 is very, very tight. It's tighter than every other turn, or turns number 3 and 4, just like one of the drivers had mentioned when we talked to them about it. So it's going to be interesting to see what their backup plan is.
Oh, most definitely, Sean, as we've had 11 lead changes here tonight at Gateway. As you said, this is the Driving for Lineman 200, brought to you by ExtremeMotorsports99.com. If you're looking for a good, great, fun league, these guys know how to race. They love to have fun. Check them out at Extreme Motorsports. Remember, no E, XTREME, Motorsports99.com.
And we are going to be going to 1 to green once these guys cross that start finish line. And also looking at my stats, the top 3 drivers, the Johnny Dressler in the 11, the 09 of Bryce Senesac, and the 4 of Brent Cool coming out of nowhere in 3rd place. Well, these 3 drivers I just mentioned have not pitted. They do have 16 laps on their tires, which is actually the most laps than compared to everybody else. 53 of Matthew Skipper has 10 laps on his tires. and everybody else has less than 3 laps on theirs. And by the looks of it, we are back to 1 to green this time by. We have some drivers exiting pit road in front of that pace car. It is the 48 of Curtis Vollmer. They do now get bunched up. The 4 of Brent Cool going to be starting on the inside. Second place behind the 11 of Johnny Dressler with the 09 of Bryce Senesac. Leading the outside with the 53 of Matthew Skipper. The 39 of Chase scrubbing those tires, giving them some temperature, keeping them warm to have a good restart this time. Coming to turn number 4. Pace car's off. 11 of Johnny holds pace. We know he jumps the start, catches the 4 of Brent off guard. The 09 of Bryce trying to catch up to 11 of Dressler, but the 53 of Matthew Skipper as well was caught slipping quite a bit. That 39 of Chase did sneak up on the 4 of Brent and had no choice but to back it down to avoid causing trouble. The 10 of Cole Gleason on the outside to try and overtake the 39 or follow the line of the 39 to get past the 4 of Brent. Follow his line, he will, into turn number 3, trying to push him past the 4 of Brent, who is occupying the outside line, holding it nice and tight, nice and strong. Drifts way high, entering turn 3, leaves a gap for the 6 of Tom Wetmore to make the pass successful, exiting turn 4 on him. And that 39 of... heavy contact entering turn 1. He does spin the 09 of Bryce sideways. He was able to hang on to it, and that was caused by a difference in braking point. Nope, the caution does fly. Looks like the after effects of that brought out the caution. Oh man, that was a checkup of a lifetime up there, man. Holy cow, that involved a lot of trucks. The 10 of Cole got a piece of that. The 04 of Ryan Gable, the 09 of Bryce Senesac got the biggest piece of it. The 6 of Tom Wetmore, Brent Cool hard into the wall. Actually went airborne. We also had the 44 of Bryant Ward get into that as well. Let's focus on the 09 of Bryce on replay.
Well, as we focus watching, we see 04, all those trucks get involved into the grass. That is going to take out a lot of trucks here that were definitely running up front all night, Sean.
Oh, it definitely will, Dave. It's going to actually throw a very big strategy in these guys' strategies, or a loophole in these guys' strategies. Because I'm not, just hope they do have some backup trucks remaining, or that one backup truck they have, so they can still stay competitive. And also going back up front, we do have the 11 of Johnny Dressler still in the race lead, and now has 20 laps on his tires. The 09 of Bryce Senesac bumped all the way down into 5th place after being involved in that incident. And we have the 10 of Cole Gleason down pit road this time. And Cole is followed by Bryant Ward, Joe White, Tom Wetmore, Mark Brown, and Doug Blackman. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to take a quick commercial break real quick, and we'll be right back so you guys can get a refill of some refreshments and some more popcorn. Stay tuned.
Don't let your first date be your last. Visit People Against Distracted Driving at PADD.org.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Driving for Lineman 200 with the Extreme Motorsports Camping World Truck Series. Going back to the race, we still have the 11 of Johnny Dressler deciding to stay out with 22 lap old tires, while the 39 of Chase Caber behind him in second place has only 8 laps on his tires, which is a lot less than he does. And that 20 of Matt Clifton in third place, the 09 of Bryce Senesac deciding to stay out after being involved in that incident that brought out the caution with some with a little bit of splitter damage on his rear end. And the 22 of Jason Van Click, new to the top 5 after starting in 15th place. And Dave, we are back to 1 to green this time by the 20 of Clifton, going to be assisting the 39, actually the 11 of Johnny Dressler, the 39 of Chase being assisted by the 09 of Bryce on the outside behind him.
Most definitely here is, looks like the race leader is going to be the 11 of Johnny Dressler. He is going to control the inside here as the pace car brings him into turn number 3 as we are getting ready to go green flag racing with 45 laps remaining. Pace car brings him through turn 3 and into turn number 4. As it is getting ready to make a hard left. It makes that hard left. The 11 of Johnny Dressler keeps him honest, jumps on that throttle. The 20 of Matt Clifton saw it coming as he is going to get to the inside of the 39 of Chase Cabaret here coming into turn number 1.
39 of Chase has a good entrance to turn number 1 and 2 and has a powerful exit off of turn 2, and that's created a gap in between him. The 20 of Clifton has a huge run on the 11 of Johnny Dressler, but decides to stay in behind him and give him a bump of a lifetime before turn 3. And that 09 of Bryce Senesac behind the 20 of Clifton has a 22 of Jason Van Click behind him. Jason putting how much the floor, trying to keep up with the 09 of Bryce. Also looking further back in the pack of a battle between the 88 of John Wimbish and the 9 of Aiden Young, a driver who has kept a low profile in the whole entire race and is back in 9th place, starting in 9th place. Overtakes the 88 of John. His next victim, the 50 of Scott Mitten, who will be side by side with him on the backstretch into turn 3.
Well, Sean, they know they don't have much more time here as we are now counting down here, still running right about 33, 34 second lap times. These drivers know it's go time. They got to get up there. So we are seeing people making some moves all over the track here as these guys are looking to try to come away with a win here tonight at Gateway.
Some more battles further back in the pack. The 74 of Wesley Woods gets overtaken by the 44 of Bryant Ward, a man on the mission trying his best to run these guys down, take those positions, take down those names. And also in front of him, some more battles going on between the 88 of John Wimbish and the 50 of Scott Mitten. And so far, Dave, Scott has seemed to be just pretty much riding throughout and just lets everybody get by him.
Yeah, it looks like he's being real cautious here. He's just not pushing the issue. If they get to the inside, he lets them go as he is trying to keep that truck as clean as possible, which definitely is going to be a key factor here tonight, as we have seen a lot of trucks sustain some heavy damage.
And in front of him, on his inside, the 44 of Bryant Ward tries to push the 99 of Ryan Keys past the 88 of John Wimbish, who is occupying the outside line. He does make the pass successfully, and that leaves the 44 of Bryant Ward to be side by side with him on the front straightaway. That 44 Bryant Ward moves himself up into 9th place, all the way from 11th place. Oh, they make contact. Almost spins the 44 of Bryant Ward right into the wall, but the 88 of John Wimbish backs off just in time. Three wide between the 50 of Scott Mitten and the 48 of Curtis Vollmer, but he backs it down, lets them all go. They make contact entering turn 3. The 48 of Curtis Vollmer and the 88 of John Wimbish still holding it nice and strong. They keep it together. We have one driver hard in the wall. That was the 50 of Scott Mitten. Loses a little bit of speed because of it, and that did check out the 73 of Mark.
Well, another driver here in this group that we haven't talked about much tonight is going to be the 30 of Alan Westman, who's qualified in 35th, currently running in 13th position. We really haven't talked much of him tonight, but he is starting to make his moves. Looks like he was just kind of holding back here, waiting for the final stretch to say, hello, folks, here I am.
Oh, and right now he's actually catching up the driver in front of him, and that is the 88 of John Wimbish. So that 30 of Allen has definitely upped his game this far. It is go time for him. Oh, he's going to take some names. That 88 of John checks up hard entering turn 1 behind the 48 of Vollmer, who checked up hard as well because of the 04 of Ryan Gable, because of the difference in braking point. But the 04 of Gable succeeds exiting turn 2. It increases the gap in between him and the 88 of Wimbish. Also looking further back in the pack, we have a battle between the 01 of Joe White and the 10 of Cole Gleason. These guys decide to go from double foul back to single foul. And that 10 of Cole Gleason, that keeps him in 17th place, and the 01 of White in 16th. Yes, some pressure from behind. That looks like that's the 12 of Damian Crump, a driver we haven't spoken much of tonight. Looks like he had a rough race in the beginning, but he's now up here. He's currently being shown in 24th place, 4 laps down.
Well, there's another driver we haven't talked much about right behind him, the 29 of Matthew Walzenbach, as he is currently running in 18th position. He has been real quiet here tonight as he almost makes contact with the wall coming out of turn number 4. Is able to keep it off, but he is looking to try to make some moves there, get some positions, as it looks like the driver in front of him will not be for position, but he is wanting to get up there, but he is currently running in 18th. That's a 74. Wesley Whitfield gets spun around and got to bring out the caution.
Oh man, he slammed those brakes just in time to avoid hitting that wall hard enough to give him damage. By the looks of it, he just hit it doing about 2 miles an hour, not 200, but 2. So that didn't give him any damage at all. If anything, just gave him a scratch.
Well, as we go to our Dre Broadcasting Network replay, we are going to focus on the 74, Wesley Whitfield. Looks like coming through turns of 1 and 2. He is just riding. It just breaks loose on the exit of the turn, gets him spun around, but he's down low. Everybody is able to get around him. As you said, he was barely moving when he tagged that wall, so it didn't really cause much damage as everybody's able to get around him as we are under caution once again.
And that 39 of Chase once again took back the race lead away from the 11 of Johnny Dressler, but he is headed down pit road, leading the entire pack. Looks like no one is staying out, actually. So the whole pack is going down pit road. This time by, and David's most likely going to be the last pit stop of the night. Actually, by the looks of it, we might have one driver staying out. Let's see if we can get a number. That is the 12 of Damian Crump. But that is most likely for him to get a lap back, because he is in 24th, 4 laps down.
Well, Sean, it does look like the 18 of Rick Donathan is going to get the wave around the lucky dog, and is going to put him 1 lap down, as it looks like everybody else that is a lap down or more is going to stay out to get that wave around to try to get back and closer to getting back on the lead lap.
And speaking of Rick Donathan there, Dave, he's had a rough night tonight. He actually used up his backup truck early on and had to sit on pit road for a long time, or for a while, to get some damage fixed. His pit crew tried their best to beat that thing out, to make it look as good as it is right now, and to try and help it maintain its speed. And he does have some, actually, still has some damage on the hood, on the front end, and also there's some rear spoiler damage, but he's still out there, still going nice and strong. Going back up front, looks like the 11 of Johnny Dressler was able to take the race lead back from the 39 of Chase, who's been shuffled all the way down to 15th after going down pit road in the lead. So not sure what happened to him. Well, Dave, speaking of Chase, I mean, he did go from 33rd place to first place in like the first 12 laps of tonight's race. So maybe he's just setting up the whole entire field at this point.
Oh, that could definitely be, as we are now 34 laps to go. So we are looking about 20 minutes left of racing, 20 to 25 minutes, I would say, Sean. So these guys know it's go time. They got to do what they got to do to try to come away with the win.
Oh, yeah. Oh, look at that. He just updated the, I guess it fooled me. The 39 of Chase just went from 15th all the way back into second place. So by the looks of it, everybody else behind or who was in front of him did go down pit road. But we have a new race leader, the 04 of Ryan Gable, the 39 of Chase in second place, the 20 of Matt Clifton in third, the 10 of Cole Gleason in fourth place, and the 09 of Bryce Senesac in fifth place. And Bryce was a driver who was involved in the incident that caused the caution 2 cautions ago, entering turn 1 due to difference in braking point, but he still held on nice and strong and was able to hang on to the top 5. That 9 of Aiden Young going all the way from 24th place actually was 2 laps down at one point and is now back on the lead lap in 6th position. Back to 1 to green this time by 1 driver getting the lap back. That is the 13 of Ryan Daniels, the driver we've spoken much of, if any, tonight, going from 2 laps down back to 1 lap down in 23rd place on lap number 104. And Dave, we are now back 1 to green. The 04 of Ryan Gable, a new race leader with a 20 of Clifton on his rear end. The 39 of Chase leading the outside with the help of the 10 of Cole Gleason on this restart.
Yeah, most definitely here. This should make for an interesting restart here, as you said. Looks like everybody came down and got some fresh tires and full tank of fuel. If we go green, I don't believe they're going to have to come back into pit, as the pace car now brings them into turn number 3.
The pace car is up. He gets on the pedal immediately. That 39 of Chase sees it coming. A great start by him. Well, that 20 of Matt Clifton and everybody behind him caught off guard by that. The 10 of Cole Gleason trying his best to maintain or hold on to the 4th place position, but he does with the 09 of Bryce Senesac occupying his inside with the 9 of Aiden Young right behind him, trying to push him past the 09 of Bryce, and so far he does propel exiting turn 2 and keeps the 09 of Bryce behind him. That 44 of Bryant Ward thirsty for that 5th place position, trying to overtake that 09 of Bryce, but it fell short into turn 3 due to a difficult entrance into turn 3 and had to back it down to avoid drifting up the track. We have a battle in front of them between the 9 of Aiden Young and the 09 of Bryce Senesac. Oh, 09 of Bryce applying a lot of pressure to the 9 of Aiden Young, and Aiden Young giving it right back at him, and does clear him exiting turn 2, and that does move him up to the 5th place position. And Dave, I do believe that is the first appearance of the 9 of Aiden Young in the top 5 in tonight's race.
Yeah, I do believe so. After he started back in 9th, he kind of fell back into the back of the field, but he has worked his way back up as we are now 30 laps remaining here at Gateway in Lineman. Driving for Lineman 200, brought to you by Extreme Motorsports.
Looking further back in the pack, we do have some battles going on between the 77 of Tyler Harmon and the 88 of John, with the 11 of that's 11 of Johnny Dressler giving him a bump of a lifetime exiting turn 2, nearly spinning himself. Was able to hang on to that. Right now the 88 of John trying his best to get on the 74 of Wesley, who just overtook him exiting turn 2. They'll stay side by side this time, exiting turn 4. The 88 of John putting on a hard fight. So the 74 of Wesley, who does lead a slight nose across the start finish line, and that does bump him up into 15th position. Of Johnny Dressler taking tries to take it through on the 88 of John Wimbish, but John Wimbish backs it down, takes it back to 2 wide, but leaves enough room or loses enough speed for the 11 of Johnny to look to his inside. Oh, he does a crossover move on him, entering turn 3. The 11 of Johnny Dressler got overtaken by the 88 of John T. Wimbish, successfully exiting turn 4, and he does take away the 16th place position back from the 11 of Johnny. And in front of them, the 24 of Whitfield battling the 30 of Alan Westman. Heavy contact exiting turn 2. That 88 of John Wimbish hard into the wall in the grass. The caution does not fly. Oh, that was very, very unfortunate for the 88 of John T. Wimbish, who did get quite the top of a lifetime from behind. And once again, it does all come down to that difference in braking point that these guys had mentioned. But going back up front, the 39 of Chase able to get around the 04 of Ryan Gavo, and is now in the race lead and trying his best to keep the 04 of Ryan behind him, will actually maintain the gap in between them, those two drivers, and the 20 of Matt Clifton trying his best to catch up the 04 of Gavo. And the battle still going on between the 30 of Alan Westman and the 74 of Wesley Whitfield. That is a battle for 14th place. 74 of Whitfield propels exiting turn number 4, but so does the 30 of Westman. So he was able to hang on to that position. And so far, Dave, the 11 of Johnny Dressler has nowhere to go, so he's just pretty much playing with both lanes to see which one's faster.
Oh, it looks like he tried to take it 3 wide there, made a little contact with the 74 Wesley Whitfield. Lost a little bit of speed, didn't lose any positions, as that is kind of spread this field out here. We are now 26 laps to go. We've had 17 lead changes here at Gateway Motor Speedway in the Lineman, Drivin for Lineman 200.
And Dave, looking at my stats right now, the leader, the 39 of Chase Cabri, actually was able to increase the gap in between him and the 04 of Ryan Gave. Also, not to mention, he was able to increase the gap in between him and the 3rd place driver, the 20 of Matt Clifton. So far he's put that hammer to the floor and just taking names. We have one driver down pit road. That's the 88 of John Wimbish. The 20 of Matt Clifton all over the back bumper. The 04 of Ryan Gable caught up to him in no time and trying his best to get around him. Looking further back in the pack, we do have the 11 of Johnny Dressler behind the 30 of Alan Westman, and that is for position. 74 of Wesley Whitfield gets overtaken by the 28 of Mason Witzer, who has kept a low actually, Mason Witzer is now being shown 7 laps down. By the looks of it, he did have some connection issues that did cause him to lose all those spots and all that time. That's very unfortunate for him.
Oh, very unfortunate as we look at our top 5 here. Actually, in our top 10, right now our biggest mover is going to be the 44 of Bryant Ward, who qualified in currently 32nd and is now running in 7th, while the gentleman behind him, the 99 of Brian Kress, qualified in 31st and is now running in P8.
And right now focusing on the 22 of Jason Van Click, trying his best to keep up with the 28 of Mason Whistle, but he does have the 74 of Wesley Whitfield running up on his back bumper. Let's run on the in car of the 74 of Whitfield just so we can watch him work. He pokes his nose to the left side of the 22, but then goes back in the draft of him. Entering turn 3, they do have a different entry. 74 of Whitfield does go a little bit lower, close enough to touch that apron, but also close enough to avoid it. Oh, that 22 of Jason gets way high into that wall, exiting turn 4, and that does allow the 74 of Whitfield to get past him. We have a battle going on in front of these drivers. That is 88. Oh, caution is out. That happened on the backstretch. Heavy smoke from the 77 of Tyler Holman.
Well, as we pull up our Dre Broadcasting Network instant replay, we are going to focus on the 77 of Tyler Hallman here to see if we can see exactly what happened. As we see that Toyota Tundra Fusion Motorsports coming out of the turn there. It looks like the back end just broke a little loose, overcorrected it, did a single spin up into the wall, and is kind of sitting on the track, but everybody is able to get around him, and that is just going to be a single truck incident here, giving us 20 laps to go.
And the question remains, are these guys going to decide to go down pit road one final time, or are they going to stay out? Because they just pitted in 16 laps ago. Talking about the race leader. Right now, the 39 of Chase Cabri headed down to pit road, this time by and being followed by everybody.
Well, it does look like the 11 of Johnny Dressler is going to stay out, and also looks like a few other cars behind him. So it looks like Johnny Dressler is going to take the race lead. The 88 of Wimbish is going to stay out, and same with the 28 there of Mason is definitely going to stay out as well, but I do believe he is laps down. The 28 of Mason Wetzel is 7 laps down, so he is looking to get some laps back.
And we also had one driver get the wave around, the lucky dog. That was the 18 of Rick Jonathan getting back on the lead lap, this time by after being 2 laps down 2 cautions ago, but now he's back on the lead lap. And that 11 of Johnny Dressler, 74 of Wesley Whitfield, the 5 of Gary Woolbot, the 18 of Rick Jonathan. These guys all have 16 to 17 laps on their tires, while everybody else has less than 1. And actually 74 Wesley Whitfield breaking off the field this time by going down pit road for a green flag pit stop final pit stop of tonight's race.
Well, this should be an interesting, let's see, we should probably have about 16 laps to go when we get the green flag. So this is going to be a shootout here for the checkered flag. Right now we are being led by the 11 of Johnny Dressler, who's got 18 laps on his tires, but it looks like everybody behind him, except for maybe the 18 of Rick Donovan, who's got 16 laps on his tires, has come down pit road for pit stop.
And also, Dave, right now I'm focused on 39 of Chase Cabri, and I did notice that entering pit road he was in the lead, if you guys remember, but then he ended up coming out in 4th place. Well, we do know that the 11 of Johnny Dressler did stay out, so both drivers, the 20 of Clifton and the 04 of Gable, I'm looking at their pit times right now, and they were less than 6 seconds, while Chase and everybody else behind him had over 10-second pit stops. So Dave, these guys only took a splash and go and no tires whatsoever. It's going to be interesting to see what happens to them. And that 10 of Cole Gleason back in the top 5 after having some trouble in the back early on in the race, and is now behind the 39 of Chase. And that 29 of Matthew Wells back, finally making his way up into the top 15 after starting all the way back in 29th place. Looks like the pace car lights are turned off. That means this is the 1 to go mark. Going green this time by on the start finish line. And this lineup, we do have the 11 of Johnny Dressler getting some help from his teammate, the 04 of Gable. The 20 of Clifton leading the outside with the help of the 39 of Chase Cabri. And keep in mind, so far the top 3 drivers have the same amount of laps on their tires, which is 19 laps, which it's going to be 20 laps once across the start finish line once we go green. But everybody else from that 39 of Chase back, they all have less than 2 laps on their tires. Don't know about you, Dave, but I have a feeling that they're going to be sitting ducks in the long run.
Sean, that's just depends to see if we're going to have any more cautions for tonight. It could be, it could not be. It'll be interesting to see, but it's going to make for a great finish here at Gateway.
Their pace car is off. The 11 of Dressler jumps, the start catches everybody off guard. The 20 of Clifton trying to battle the 04 of Gable for the 2nd place position. That 39 of Chase Cabri helping the 20 of Matt Clifton get up to speed quicker. That 04 of Gable has it before then. Oh, the 20 of Clifton goes hard into turn number 1 and 2, passes, gets around the 11 of Johnny Dressler. What a move. Holy cow, he tossed that sucker into turn 1, got around both the 04 of Gable and the 11 of Dressler, took the race lead here in 1 lap. So maybe he just might not be a sitting duck after all.
Well, it looks like tires are definitely not affecting him. It looks like maybe he had saved some tires in the previous run here, as the 39 of Cabri is going to take it 3 wide on the 11 of Dressler and the 4 of Gavel here, as it looks like they are going to back it down into 2 wide as he is battling Dressler for the 2nd place position.
39 of Chase, perfect exit off of turn 2, gets around the 11 of Dressler, puts him back in 3rd place, bumps himself up into 2nd place. His next victim, the race leader, the 20 of Matt Clifton. The gap in between the 11 of the 39 of Chase, the 20 of Clifton, and actually the 11 of Johnny Dressler does increase a lot, and turn 3 did make a huge difference for those drivers.
Yeah, most definitely, as we are now still counting these laps down. We have 14 laps remaining here, as we are being led by the 20 of Matt Clifton, but he is being chased down by the 39 of Chase Cabaret, who's got a pretty good gap in between them and 3rd place, the 11 of Johnny Dressler, as it looks like it is over a 2nd gap in between them.
We also have a battle for 4th place between the 04 of Gable and the 9 of Aiden Young, as Aiden Young lost a lot of speed exiting turn 4 and allowed the 04 of Ryan Gable to hang on to the 4th place position. He's now trying to get around the 11 or try and catch up to the 11 of Johnny Dressler. But that 9 of Aiden Young still all over the 04 of Gable, applying pressure while he can. Looking further back in the pack, the 29 of Matthew Rosenbach makes his way up into the top 10. Last time we checked, he was in 12th place. He has a 99 of Ryan Keys giving him the bumper entering turn 3, but he's able to stay off of it. Going back further, a little bit up front between the 04 of Gable and the 11 of Johnny Dressler. These guys side by side into turn number 1 and 2. They are fighting for the 3rd place position. The 9 of Aiden Young chooses the line of the 04 of Gable, who gets loose exiting turn 4, slowing down the 11 of Johnny Dressler.
That is going to let the 9 of Aiden Young get to the inside here into the turn, as he is going to get to the back doors. The 04 of Gavel really checked up there, but they are able to keep it off here, as he is now looking to get around Dressler to start chasing down the 04 of Gavel.
And we have had a lead change up front. The 39 of Chase getting around the 20 of Clifton, bumps him back into 2nd place and ups himself up once again into 1st place. Well, 3 wide in the back between the 9 of Aiden Young, that was the 09 of Bryce Senesac and the 44 of Bryant Ward, but they were able to get back to double file. They did. The 9 of Aiden Young lost quite a few spots there.
Yeah, most definitely here. These guys are hungry, as we are now 10 laps to go. They know that now's the time. They have to put that pedal down. They got to make in positions to try to further get up into this chase here. These guys are battling out, as the 9 of Aiden Young just is not able to do it on the inside, as he has lost their draft and is falling back drastically.
And that 44 of Bryant Ward, ever since the green flag had flown, he had been a man on the move. He did start all the way back in 32nd place and is now behind the 11 of Johnny Dressler, fighting for the 5th place position. They'll be side by side on the front stretch, entering turn 1. 11 of Johnny Dressler backs up his braking point, most likely trying to... Oh, the 44 of Bryant Ward almost gets into the back of the 04 of Gave out to check up, allowing the 11 of Johnny Dressler to gain that momentum back off of turn 2. The 09 of Bryce Senesac tries to take it away from the 44 of Bryant Ward, who then shuts the door and forces the 09 of Bryce to stay behind him. Still a battle for the 5th place position between the 44 of Bryant Ward and the 11 of Johnny Dressler, as the 11 of Dressler does propel drastically, entering turn 1. Oh, he was clear, but he does get his nails chopped off, and as the 44 of Bryant Ward going to the back of him. Looks like he was clear while he was coming down, but then once he came down low enough, he wasn't clear anymore, as that 44 of Bryant Ward did end up getting a piece of his left rear, spinning him leftward into turn 1. Let's focus on the 11 of Dressler on replay.
Well, as we pull up our chopper view here coming into the turn. Looks like it was just hard racing. A little bit of contact made, sent the 11 of Dressler up into the wall, but looks like nobody else was involved. Only minor damage to that truck as we are now 7 laps to go.
Yeah, that is very, very unfortunate for those drivers to be involved in an incident this late in the race. This is now lap number 130, so we technically have 7 laps to go, even though you might think it's 6 laps, but it's technically 7. And going back up front, we have the 39 of Chase still in the lead with the 20 of Clifton behind him, the 04 of Gavo in 3rd place, the 10 of Cole Gleason in 4th, and the 44 of Brian Ward in 5th place. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to take our final commercial break of tonight's race, and we'll be right back, so stay tuned. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Extreme Motorsports Camping World Truck Series, the Driving for Lineman 200 here at Gateway Motorsports Park once again. And getting back to the race, we do have the 39 of Chase Cabri still in the lead with the 20 of Clifton on his rear end. The 04 of Ryan Gable being shown in 3rd place. Oh, actually, it looks like he might be out of the race. The 10 of Cole Gleason in 4th place. Well, technically in 3rd. The 09 of Bryce Senesac in 4th place. And the 9 of Aiden Young in 5th place. Well, Dave, we're going to have a 1 to 2 lap shootout. Well, I guess 1 to 3 lap shootout once we go green. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens in those final laps. Because, Dave, it is go time. So these guys are going to either bring that checkered flag home or the steering wheel home.
Oh, most definitely, Sean, here is the pace car is now across the start finish line. It shuts its light off. We are going to have a 3-lap shootout here for the checkered flag as we have got 4 laps to go. We are being led by the 39 of Chase Cabri, Matt Clifton on the outside, the 10 of Cole Gleason in 3rd, the 09 of Bryce Senesac, last season's champion, curling in 4th, and the 9 of Aiden Young rounding out your top 5.
Well, Dave, so far the driver who is in the best position at the moment is the 39 of Chase, Dave, because he is controlling the start. So if he does get a good jump on them, he will catch them off guard as usual, and he will most likely have a good gap in the next 2 laps.
Most definitely, here is the pace car is bringing them through turns 3 and 4 as they are double foul, as they are ready to go green flag racing. If in the next 2 laps that yellow flag flies, it will end the race. The pace car is off. Chase Cabray jumps hard on that throttle, gets a good run as he is battling out, trying to keep that lead. He has led 42 laps here tonight. Here, coming into turn number 1.
And that 20th clip. Oh, they make contact entering turn 3. That 20th clip and goes sideways, hangs on to it. Oh my God, they went 3 wide under him, were able to stick it. And that 20th Clifton is now suffering from that because he did lose a lot of positions, went down below the top 15 as we speak. And that 10 of Cole Gleason trying his best to hang on to the second place position, having to hold off the 09 of Bryce Senesac, who down to the 99 of Ryan Keys on his rear end. Ryan Keys looking to his left side. They're going to be side by side on the front stretch. Here for the looks like they are fighting for the 3rd place position. Oh, not sure what happened to the 99 of Ryan Keys, but by the looks of it, he might have retired. But focusing back on the 09 of Bryce Senesac, he is behind the 10 of Cole Gleason and is actually catching up to him slowly but surely. But our leader, the 39 of Chase Cabry, is actually being able to maintain the lead in between him and the 10 of Cole.
Yeah, most definitely here as they are taking the white flag here at Gateway. This is the final lap. Here's the 9 of Aiden Young, has thought about looking to the inside there of Senesac, but decided to stay single file here as these guys are battling for the 3rd position here. It looks like the 39 of Chase Camry is going to come away with the win, as long as he can get through turns 1 and 2 here nice and clean.
That 9 of Aiden Young does drift way high, allows a lot of room, allows a lot of time he lost a lot of time, and because of that, the 09 of Bryce Senesac and the 10 of Gleason still maintain their leads, and the race is now over. The 39 of Chase brings it home untouched. The 10 of Cole in 2nd place with the 09 of Bryce Senesac, 2,000th of a second right behind him, finishing in 3rd place. That 9 of Aiden Young putting on a hard fight, but unfortunately finishing here in 4th place. That was a very well fought battle, even though he did go 2 laps down at one point, made up all that time, got his laps back, finished in 4th place. And that 29 of Matthew Welsenbach finishing in 5th place after starting all the way back in 29th place. Well, ladies and gentlemen, unfortunately, we won't be able to get race interviews in. So we are going to try and focus on the 39 of Chase Cabry to see some donuts before we go over the final results. As Chase spins that thing out on purpose to try and get it sideways, he's going to start doing a smoke show. This time by. There he goes. Looks like his it's gonna spin out there, entering turn 3 on purpose to try and get it sideways. A lot of smoke coming out of those tires. Looks like gonna do a burnout at the start finish line. Let's focus on him. As he approaches the start finish line, he starts to slow that sucker down. Well, here we go.
I just joined on.
Oh yeah.
Man. Hell, me too, dude.
Stay tuned. Well, we are going to try and get a race interview in with our top 3 finishers, the 39 of Chase Cabry, the 10 of Cole Gleason, and the 09 of Bryce Senesac. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we do have the our top 3 finishers tonight: the 39 of Chase, the 10 of Cole, and the 09 of Bryce Senesac. We are gonna start from the bottom to the top this time. The 09 of Bryce. Got a copy there, bud?
Yes, sir.
Well, Bryce, we did get the honor of speaking with you during the race tonight. We did talk about how you were the season champion and how your strategy was to just pretty much stay out of trouble. And by the looks of it, it did work out in your favor. You did go from 7th place and finished in 3rd place, gaining 4 spots overall. Well, Bryce, tell us about your experience tonight, buddy.
Man, I have no idea how I'm even up here, to be honest with you. I mean, I was doing fine, but then I got ran over on a restart off of too early. That sent me to the back, so I was stuck there for majority of the race. And I got damage under caution, so I had to stay in my pits for about a minute. Then later on, I almost got dumped again into going into one, letting Chase by, and I managed to save it. So I was only like 5 incidents away from being disqualified, so I feel pretty lucky to be up here.
Oh, copy that, Bryce. Well, I am sorry to hear about everything you had to go through tonight, but I am glad that in the long run it did pay off, and it did not discourage you from keeping that foot to the floor. And yeah, Bryce, speaking of the turn 1 incident, it did seem as though there was a difference in braking point. That was quite the pile up, and you did seem to have some damage from it. Do you think that damage affected you any tonight?
Maybe a little bit. I don't think I was gaining enough speed off of turn 4 that I really needed. I think that whole incident must have been just lack of communication, because I was telling Chase I was just, like pressure tires, I was just gonna let him go into 1, then before I knew it, I was getting ran into from behind.
Oh, 10-4, Bryce. Well, I am glad that, despite the little damage or a lot of damage you might have sustained from that hard hit from the rear end, you were still able to keep control of it, because I'm pretty sure that the truck's performance was way different, most likely became looser or even a little bit slower because of it, but you were still able to finish here in 3rd place. And actually, Bryce, next week we are going to be racing at Kentucky Speedway. What should we expect from you there, buddy?
That's one of the tracks I think I can pull up the win, so I'm really hoping I can get that win there, because we had a little preseason race there and I managed to win there, and I think last season I pulled off 5th, maybe 6th. I ran pretty well. I'm looking forward to it.
Oh, 10-4, Bryce. Well, Bryce, we are as well looking forward to next week's race at Kentucky Speedway, and we do want to congratulate you once again on your 3rd place finish tonight. And before we let you go, any final words or shout-outs you'd like to give?
Now, I just gotta thank all the people that are down there at what is Performance Motorsports bringing out, but we still gotta think of a team game since old schools isn't fully a thing anymore in this league. So just gotta thank Don, Ryan Keys, and Curtis Fulmer, just everyone we had down there tonight.
Once again, Bryce, we do want to congratulate you on your 3rd place finish tonight, and we do look forward to seeing you next week once again at Kentucky Speedway. Have a good night, buddy, and a good rest of the week.
Thank you, you too.
Well, that was tonight's rounder of the podium finishers in 3rd place, and also last season's champion, the 09 of Bryce Senesac. Right in front of him is the 10 of Cole Glasson. How you doing tonight, Cole?
I'm doing good, thank you.
Well, Cole, just for future reference, how do you pronounce your last name, buddy?
It is Glasson. You got it right.
Oh, copy that, Cole. Well, Cole, tonight you did start in 2nd place, finishing in 2nd place, but we know the race did not go as you had planned. We did notice you did get caught up in a couple of incidents that did send you to the back of the pack, but you were still able to make up all those lost positions and come out in 2nd place tonight. Well, Cole, what contributed to your success tonight, buddy?
Well, it was sort of an interesting race. I was up and down the board, across the whole race. Fell all the way back down after a couple incidents. I actually dodged a couple wrecks earlier on, but got caught up in a wreck about halfway through. Thanks to some good pit strategy, we made our way back up. And I guess I was just there at the end. That's all that matters. I was, like Bryce, I was getting close to getting disqualified because of all those incidents that racked up, but came home with 2nd place. There was a little incident on that last restart. I did go in a little bit too deep, got up into the 20 car. It was totally my fault, but we still ended up with 2nd place finish, and super happy with that. Their best finish of the season.
Oh, copy that, Cole, and I am glad that you are pleased with your position. And right now, I'm actually looking at the stats, and you have triple twos on the board. Second place in practice, second place in qualifying, and second place in towards the end of the race. You're coming in second place overall. So that was definitely some amazing driving. You staying consistent throughout, just like you had pointed out. It didn't go as you had planned throughout, but you were still able to come in second place and almost being disqualified, but you didn't. So that was definitely some great driving on your part. And Cole, did the track meet your expectations tonight, or do you think you could have done a better job at handling it?
It's definitely a tough track. This is by far the hardest track we ran at this year. I think I did struggle with it a little bit compared to all the other drivers. I sort of adapted to it as the race went on, but overall, very pleased with the situation. Too bad it couldn't have been a 1-1-1 instead of a 2-2-2, but definitely happy with second place finish.
Oh, copy that, Cole. Well, Cole, we do want to congratulate you once again on your second place finish. And before we let you go, any final words or shout outs you'd like to give, buddy?
First off, I'd like to just thank the good Lord for blessing me with this finish. Second place is great. I know we'll get a win here with these next couple races. Hopefully be locked into the chase, but also like to thank the guys over at Young Guns. They definitely helped put this all together, and congratulations to Chase for that win. And then also the guys over at ExtremeMotorsports99.com, especially all the admins. They had their hands full this race. They dealt with it perfectly. It was definitely a long race, but it sure was a fun one.
Oh, absolutely, Cole, and I am glad that, despite everything you went through, you were still able to stay consistent, having triple twos across the board, and not being discouraged with you being almost disqualified and you getting into a couple of incidents, but you still keeping your hammer to the floor, still staying competitive and taking a lot more than you were giving. Well, Cole, once again, congratulations on your second place finish, and we do look forward to seeing you again next week at Kentucky Speedway. Have a good night, buddy.
Thank you.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that was the 10 of Cole Glasson, finishing in second place tonight with triple twos on the board. Very consistent. And last but not least is tonight's winner, the man of the night, the man of the hour. Once again, the hardest charger from 33rd place to first place, Chase. You got a cup there, Chase?
Yeah, I got you.
Also you, Chase, I wanna just, for future reference, how do you pronounce your last name, buddy?
Cabry.
Cabry. Copy that, bud. Well, Chase, tonight you did start in 33rd place once again, finishing in first place. We did get a chance to speak with you, and when we interviewed you, you were in the race lead, and interviewing you again, you did finish in first place. Buddy, what can't you do? What can you not do?
It just kind of fell. Everything kind of fell into the right way, and was able to have the right strategy calls and have the right doors open and not get involved in the wrecks, and was able to kind of make the best of it.
Oh, 10-4, Chase. And Chase, what did the competition look like from your end?
From what I saw, it was pretty good. Up front, we raced clean and hard. There was a few hits and misses there, and yeah, there was a lot of cautions. But with a track like that, you almost gotta expect it. Like I said, it's my first run with these guys, and I had a good time. So moving forward, I can't wait to see what it's like on a big 1.5-mile track, and hopefully we can work into some green flag runs and some pit strategy and stuff like that would be awesome.
Oh, absolutely, Chase. But you still, this was your first race, and man, you did shine. You went all the way from 33rd all the way to first place in the first 12 laps, and you were still able to stay consistent. And on those couple of pit stops we had under caution, we noticed that you went you entered pit road while in the lead, but exiting, you did come out in third place in line. What happened there, buddy? Did you have a bad pit stop, or maybe it was just you taking 4 tires and them taking 2 or less?
A lot of people thought 2 tires was working, but with a track like this, the left sides are actually wearing more than the right side, so you had to take 4. And I was continuing to take 4, and a lot of people were taking 2. I was also at being the 33rd starting position. My pit box was really, really far back, so when I came out, I was having to check up for the people that weren't entering their pit boxes, so it kind of just created a little bit of congestion and came back to bite me.
Oh, copy that, Chase. I am sorry to hear about that, but regardless, you still it didn't stop you from taking the race lead back. And Chase, when you were shuffled back like that, due to you having to slow down for the drivers entering pit road. Did you see yourself not being in first place, or did you basically think that it was impossible for you to get around those drivers?
This track can be very difficult to pass that, and especially with the caliber of drivers that are out there. So I definitely didn't think it was impossible, but I knew it wasn't going to be easy. So I knew I was going to really have to drive as hard as I could to be able to get around them, and hope that it was going to work. Just kind of hope for the best and never get down on yourself.
That is very, very nicely said, Chase. And once again, we do want to congratulate you on your first place finish tonight after starting all the way back in 33rd, gaining 32 spots overall, making it look very, very easy from this perspective. Oh, before I let you go, Chase, any final words or shout outs you'd like to give, buddy?
Just the guys in this league for letting me come in and have some fun, and you guys for putting on the broadcast. Like I said, I can't wait to get on to next week, and I'll see you guys then.
Once again, congratulations, buddy, and see you again next week. Have a good night, buddy.
See you, man.
Well, that was tonight's race winner, the 39 of Chase Cabri. And that does sum up and round up the top 3 finishes. The 39 of Chase, the 10 of Cole Glasson, the 09 of Bryce Senesac, the 9 of Aiden Young in 4th place, the 29 of Matthew Welsenbach. Well, Dave, before we close out, let's actually go over the final results, please.
Coming out in first is going to be the 39 of Chase Cabri, the 10 of Cole Glasson in second, Bryce Senesac in the 09, Chevrolet in third, the 9 of Aiden Young in fourth, the 29 of Matthew Welsenbach will be 5th. The 11 of Johnny Dressler finishing 6th. The 48 of Curtis Balmer in 7th. The 01 of Joe White in 8th. The 22 of Jason Van Cleek in 9th. And the 74 of Wesley Whitfield in 10th.
44 of Bryant Ward in 11th place. The 50 of Scott Mitten finishing in 12th. The 20 of Matt Clifton in 13th place. The 30 of Alan Westman in 14th. The 5 of Gary Woolbot in 15th, the 18 of Rick Donathan in 16th, the 25 of Doug Blackman being the last truck on the lead lap in 17th, the 13 of Ryan Daniels being the first truck lap down in 18th place, the 99 of Ryan Keys finishing in 19th, 88 of John T. Wimbish finishing in 20th place.
21st is going to be the 03 of Don Kidder Jr., the 04 of Ryan Gavel in 22nd, 28 of Mason Wetzel 23rd, the 77 of Tyler Hallman in 24th, the 12 of Damian Crump in 25th, the 6 of Tom Wetmore finishing 26th, the 53 of Matthew Skipper finishing 27th, the 73 of Mark Brown in 28th, the 4 of Brett Cole finishing 29th, and the 14 of Vern Bradley finishing 30th.
51 of Timothy McBrayer finishing in 31st, the 36 of Nate Lacombe in 32nd, the 68 of Scott Simley finishing in 33rd, the 35 of Matt Egan in 34th, and the 67 of John Mustian Jr., the driver who had a very early night tonight, unfortunately. He finished in 35th. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you once again for joining us for the Driving for Lineman 200, part of the Extreme Motorsports Camping World Truck Series. This was race number 7. Well, next week we are going to be having a race at Kentucky Speedway. It's going to be entitled the Fusion Motorsports TV 128. Once again, that is Kentucky Speedway. So we do expect to see a lot of great racing because that is a very, very competitive track. I mean, a very great track where competition is very, very stiff usually at a track like that. And once again, our next broadcast is going to be Daytona 2007 with the Cyber Racing Association Acrylic Art Super Truck Series on Saturday night. Once again, that is Daytona 2007 with the trucks as well. I am Sean Zulu and Dave Evan behind the cameras, and have a good night.
Don't let your first date be your last. Visit People Against Distracted Driving at PADD.org.